Hello and welcome. The problem here, there is a rectangle. We can see the black shaded lines are the rectangle, and within the rectangle there are three circle, and each of these three circle have got different diameter. It means different radius. Let's consider the very first, the larger circle. So this is the center. So up to this length is 3 unit, and for the second one this will be of course 2, and this one is 1, right? Now what we have to do, what is our main goal? Our main goal is to determine the area. Our main goal is to determine the length of this A up to B. This length we have to determine. It means the larger circle tangent point within the rectangle and this smaller, this length AB, we have to determine the value of AB. This is our target actually. Now let's jump into the problem and let's see what we can do first. Very first, what you can do, we can edit this center, I mean the larger circle and next circle, and obviously each of the circle are touch. So the very large circle touches the second one, and second one touches the third one. Anyways, so this is the tangent point, and from the center O, and this is, let's say, A. So OA, add it, and obviously the radius from O to this tangent point is 3, and up to this one is 2. So OA is equals to 5 unit. Now we can draw another line from this center O to this one. This point, let's say we define this one as point B. So OB is parallel to, let's say this is P and Q side. So OB is obviously parallel to PQ line. It means here a right angle triangle, right? And let's assume OB is equals to X. So OB length is equals to X. And of course, the length OB, so this is the length OB. Let's say this is length OB, and OB is equals to this length. So this is also X, right? So up to this length is 3, the radius of the larger circle, and for triangle AOB up to this length we can determine. So this is the center, so the center to this length, and this length is obviously perpendicular to PQ. So let's say this is PM. So A to M is perpendicular to PQ. Indeed, this is 90 degree. It means that all the tangent and the perpendicular to tangent line is the radius of a circle. So up to this length is how much? 2. And if we consider from O to this length is 3, so this length will be 3 minus 2, so this will be 1, right? Now let's redraw this image. So I redrawn this image. So up to this length is 1. So this is actually O, and this is A, and this is B. So triangle O A B, and this is 90. So this is a right angle triangle. So we can say OA square equals to OB square plus AB square. So what is our target? So we have got the length up to this one, OB is X, and up to this one is 3, 2. So it will be 5 actually. So OA is 5 square, OB is X square plus AB is 1 whole square. So X square equals to 25 minus 1. So it will be 24. So X is equals to plus minus square root of 24, right? And this is actually a length. So length never be negative. So let's consider X is equals to root over positive 24. So as I told that up to this length, up to this length is same as the length of this one. So O to B is equals to, let's say, B to, let's say this is C. So BC is equals to square root of 24. And now our target is to determine the length from A to C, right? So this one we have got. Now it's time to determine the value of A to C. Then afterward, we get add up with A to C plus C to B. C to B we have got, right? Now let's redraw another picture. Now it's time to add up this line, the center of the circle of the middle circle to the smaller one. And here a very important thing to understand the circle radius. So the this circle radius is 2, right? And this one is 1. So altogether the length will be 3, right? So this length is 3. As our target is to determine the length is AC, right? Indeed, what you can do, we need to draw a parallel line from this center. Let's consider the center of this smaller circle is, let's say, Z. Okay, so let's draw from this Z to parallel to this much. So let's say this is C prime. Let's say this is C prime. So Z C prime, we define this is PQ. So ZC is parallel to PQ, right? Now, what we have to do, we have to extend this line up to this much. To dignify this line, let's change the color. Change the color. So the extended line up to this one. So from this point, so this was A, remember? So A to this much is 3, and now our main target is to determine this amount of length, right? Indeed, what we have to do, we have to understand this amount of length. Let's change the color. This is pink. So this length is how much? This length is, of course, 1 unit, because this is the radius of the very small circle. So this is 1. So up to this one is 3. And what we have to do, we have to determine this length, right? This amount of length. And from here to here is 6. It was given in the question. So up to this much, oh, actually we made a mistake here. It will be 2 actually. So it will be 2, it will be 2. So 2 plus 2. So up to this one is 4. So this length total was 6 minus 2 plus 2 is 4, and we have to subtract this length as 1. So altogether this will be 1. So up to this one is 1, right? So here the main target is to determine the length A to C. So from this point to this point, let's say this point is Y, and here we have written this is Z, and this was A, and this was, say, any point, let's say N, right? So now triangle Z N A, and this is right angle, this is 90 degree, and obviously this is 3 and this is 3. This is actually not possible, because this is actually isosceles triangle. Indeed, obviously, uh, at this point and this point, angle need to be similar, but here angle is smaller and here angle is 90 degrees, so it is not actually possible, by the way. Anyways, we considering, actually, let's say this is 3 and this is 3 and this is the triangle. Indeed, what we can do a z square equals to a n square plus z n square. What is the value of az, which is 3 square? An is also 3 plus zn, let's say y square. So y square equals to 9 minus 9. So there is no value for y, which is actually not possible for this image.